Oh, my foot just got like a cramp. All right. So usually on my channel, I keep forgetting to do introductions. Hello, my name is Haley. I am trying to get back in the groove of making YouTube videos. It's been a really long time, but like after the first video that I just uploaded, I feel like I don't have any ideas. Actually, that's incorrect, but I just want to make more videos. I like to make videos. I don't know. Hi. So anyway, I usually do more just sit down, chit chat, random yapping type videos, but today I wanted to try to do something a little different with more of a theme to it. So I didn't really know what exactly, but I am at my desk and I am attempting to write. So a little background. In my last video, I think I talked about it a little bit. I am graduating soon. Therefore, I have a senior capstone. And so my senior capstone is writing a we'll call it a short story because it's a 25-page requirement, but my issue with that is that I feel like the story I'm trying to set up cannot be resolved in 25 pages. So I'm exploring possibly some alternate writing ideas, because I don't know, and that's partly an issue of mine where I write so much, especially when I have to share it, I end up disliking it to the point where I'm like, you know what, let's just jump ship and start something completely new. But my fear of not being able to resolve it in a feasible way that, you know, makes sense and is satisfying, I just don't know if I can actually do that. So, and also, okay, so a little background on what I am writing. It is my idea that I've been working on since 2023. It's a speculative dystopian sci-fi story, and I don't know if I'm going for more of a YA vibe or something a little bit more elevated. The writing is giving YA though right now, and I don't know if I like that, because originally with this project I wanted to do a piece that would really allow me to work with prose in a way that I want to but don't normally do. And so far this is not the piece for it. I have so much world building, so much character building, I can't allow, or it doesn't allow, for the type of writing that I actually want to do. So I just come to find out after all these years, fiction writing, I guess, is not for me. Who would have thunk? But it's just, I'm not enjoying it. And so far I have 4 pages turned in already, because this is for a class. It's for 2 classes actually. I'm working in tandem. 2 classes are working in tandem so that I can kind of get a 2-for-1 special, I guess. But, oh, excuse me, I feel like I'm breathing in dust. But I'm thinking if I can sit down and write 4 pages of something else and then just slip it in, make a fair, even trade, that would be really nice. But the fact that I am using this concept for 2 different classes makes me worry that it won't be easy to just swap it out, because I'd have to talk to my professor about changing for both classes, because I wouldn't want to do both pieces. But here's my issue. I am having a creative block. This idea came to me easily because it's been sitting at my desk for 2 years. Otherwise, I don't know what I want to write. And especially something that allows, you know, clever prose and everything like that. I just don't know what to write about. So I'm brainstorming. I'll grab a book to give you some context on how I want to write. So I'll grab this one too. Here I have some books, 2 books by 2 of my favorite authors. This one, boom, can you see it? The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I love this book, and this book is like really kind of what made me want to really jump into writing more, because I was like, oh well, Donna Tartt, it took her 9 years to write this book. I'm gonna take my 9 years and write a book hopefully just as good. But even this is a great example. I guess both of them are, but this is a great example of fiction that has good prose but isn't overwhelming in any way in terms of the actual writing style. I really love her writing style, and actually I have a journal where I've started to analyze, this is my little journal, do like author profiles and analyze their writing style. And I have like a setup. Right now I only have 1 entry. It's for the other author that I'm about to show, but I choose a specific book, usually the one I'm reading at the time, and then I describe their writing style or summarize it in the best way I can using my own thoughts on the writing as well as some information from Google. And then I say why I like it, and then I include some of my favorite lines and passages from that book. And then I do a little section about observations that I have found on their writing, also from my own reading the book, and what Google says is most common in their writing. So I'm trying to do that and make observations on what is it about their writing that stands out to me. And then I have another page which I've titled my personal style evaluation. And so it's basically what I want my style to be like, as well as observations for my own writing. So I have this idea, I guess, of like me as the perfect writer in an ideal world, what my writing would be like. And I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I'm not super into fiction, because I don't see myself writing like the story that I'm working on. It's kind of modeled after like the Hunger Games in terms of, I guess, the dystopian vibe. It really doesn't have much to do with the Hunger Games, but dystopian young adult fiction, it's what it is. But I find that it's so hard to stick with writings that are like this, because I guess they're just not really my wheelhouse. I've discovered I'm not big on writing dialogue. I'm very good at details and sensory details and different things. I've taken a writing workshop class, and one of the things that they said on most of my pieces was that I'm very good at setting a scene, almost like so to the point where you can visualize it like it's a movie. That's what I'm good at. So all the dialogue and trying to get characterization through the dialogue is proving to be harder than expected. But mainly, so I guess I'll give a little bit for my personal style evaluation, what I'm going for. Actually, no, we'll come back to this in a second. My second book that I've brought over is really, for me, like the textbook on perfect prose. So it's The Passion According to G.H. by Clarice Lispector. No words. It's like, it's like the kind of book that you read it and you understand what's happening, but at the same time when you finish it, you're like, whoa, what just happened? Because her writing, I have some annotations in this book, and I think it's funny that my first annotation is the whole first paragraph. I don't know if you can see it, and all I have written down is holy shit, with a period, because that's very important. It needs the period because it's like, holy shit, that is good writing. And I don't know, her writing, I've seen quotes, or a quote that somebody, I forget who it was, and I forget the whole quote, but they compared her prose to witchcraft, and that is what I want. I want prose that is equal parts enchanting and expansive, if that makes sense, slightly. So now, back to my personal style evaluation. I said that I wanted my voice, my writing voice, to feel like memories. And by that I said, well, I said memories and thoughts. I want my writing to feel like experiencing a memory or thinking a thought. And by that I said either detached or felt wholly and entirely, which I know wholly and entirely, that's like the same exact thing. But in my mind I was like, it means something different to me, I guess. And I said complex in ideas, but not always in diction. So I just want very atmospheric writing. That's what I think I'm getting at. I want writing that evokes thought and emotion and a reaction that sometimes when you're first reading it, you don't realize what that reaction is, but you're feeling it as you're having it. Also, I said that I wanted my writing to be spiraling in the sense of starting small and expanding outwards, or vice versa. And so that's really what I want. I have never enjoyed writing poetry, unfortunately. Every time we had to write poetry in school, hated it. I hated it because something about it. I love reading poetry, I hate writing it because it just doesn't click for me. I need more words, basically. But I want my writing to still have, of course, a poetic quality to it. I found it hard, especially with such a content-dense manuscript, in the sense that it has a lot of world building, a lot of character building, a lot of stuff that has to be fully integrated into the story to make it make sense. I just can't have time to play with the words and do frilly stuff because there's just so much I have to make sure the readers understand. Or I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So I have a blank Google Doc up right now, and I want to figure out something to write and how to write it in a way that is like what I've described. So I'm supposed to be brainstorming, but I've been talking to you all, which isn't a bad thing. I enjoy this, but I have a blank document and don't know what I'm gonna write about. So I don't, and also something I'm struggling with is finding inspiration, because I'm like, yeah, I could do entries on politics, I could do writing about family, I could do a lot of stuff, but none of it is really resonating with me at the moment. So I'm like, I just don't know. So what I think I'm gonna do a fun little experiment. I'm gonna read the last entry in my journal, and then I'm gonna go on Pinterest and see what rabbit holes I fall down. And through that, hopefully I will find some inspiration. I don't know if I'm gonna read my last journal entry. I'm not reading that out loud. Not reading that out loud, but I have some ideas already. Yeah. And then maybe we'll do a prose focus. And so by that I mean gonna have a specific aspect of what I consider good prose to focus on. And so that might be diction, that might be sentence length, because I do tend to write longer sentences. But one thing that I think also makes for good prose is having shorter sentences, so that when you have a longer one, it really hits home instead of all the sentences being long. Which I guess you could do the reverse and have the shorter sentences hit harder. But I also think sentence length really does lend to the pacing of the reading, obviously. But this piece that I have thinking of right now is not one that I want to be fast. So I think my focus is not going to be sentence length, it's going to be diction. Which sometimes with diction I can like get a little like overzealous, whatever. Like I choose really big words and I'm like, yeah, just because I know what it means doesn't mean that it works actually, you know? Because you can be like, yeah, this word says quadrillion. I know that it's a word and I know what it means, but how are you gonna fit that in a sentence? How are you gonna fit that into a sentence? And you know what? I will insert somewhere what that word means. I say it's my favorite word because I used it to win hangman back in middle school, because nobody knows what sesquipedalian means, especially not in middle school. So I was like, yes, favorite word now, because I guess the memory tied to it. So the focus is diction. The length, I'm gonna say 2 pages. Now the question is, do I want double spaced or somewhere between single and double spaced? Because for my project I have to do double spaced so that there's area for people to mark up and edit it. But my worry about doing single space is that that's gonna take forever to get to 2 pages. And since this is supposed to be like practice somewhat, instead of like I gotta type as much as I can, I don't think, we'll do 1.5 space, 1.5. And then the mood, I'm gonna end this video right here actually, because I'm trying to make shorter videos. I'm failing. Every video I make is consistently at least 20 minutes. And I know starting off people are like, oh no, that's too long of a video. You have to build up a following and people who actually want to watch your stuff before you make long videos, because nobody's going to devote that time. I am not a short form person, okay? And like, yeah, I make TikToks, but what I mean by that, in my own life, I am not a short spoken, which that's not a term, but I usually do things to the fullest extent. I feel like I am a all or nothing person. So when I make a video, it is all or nothing in the sense. I'm getting off topic. So anyway, this is the end of the video. I actually did an intro slightly, so I guess I don't have to tell you my name because you heard it in the beginning. But let me know, honestly, if y'all like this style, because usually I describe my videos as minimal editing and maximum talking, because that's really what it is. I don't edit a lot, mainly because if I get too much into the details of like what looks good and this and that, and it's stuff that I don't know how to do, it's gonna make me mad and I'm not gonna upload a video. That's why I haven't recorded since, well, my most recent post, there's a gap in between the two for 9 months because I just don't, editing is a lot and I don't have, I see the vision in my head, but I have a hard time translating it into real life, and that really annoys me. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. It's a little different than what I usually do, but let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ew, that's kind of cringy, but whatever. If you like it, like it. If you don't, don't. But I will see you guys next time. Hopefully I will be able to report back that I have more writing. Bye.